Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Rule 34 podcast. I'm your host, Jack, joined by my fellow co-hosts.
Dominic Castillo, number 43 driver for the American Rally Association for Subaru.
And Oscar Cortez, owner of GameStop.
All right, good to have you guys back. It's been about a week since we last recorded. How you guys been? Anyone?
I wanted to record yesterday because I had to postpone because of classes that just came up. But we're back. That's Paul.
What about you, Oscar?
24 hours homework to do. That's fun. But yeah, I'm just having a decent time. What about you, Joseph?
Yeah, I've been pretty good. Still, I guess you could say struggling with school. But I've been just keeping up my best. Have you guys said, or Oscar, you said you already had homework. What classes have you signed up for?
I'm in the second semester of my year-long course, the multivariable calculus and linear algebra, and then I have electricity and magnetism, like paper thing. It's some report where you have to read like scientific articles unrelated to like what we're learning. And then I have to like make some model program because it's like a computer science like intersection. So I mean it's really fun, but it's like kind of consuming.
Okay. And Dom, what about you? Have you started school yet or signed up for classes?
I started school last Wednesday. I signed up for a business administration class, an economy class, and like for like two extra classes that are like breadth requirements that we're pretty much forced to take are one introduction to anthropology. Archaeology, pretty much archaeology in general, and another one about climate change. I mean, it just seemed intriguing, I guess, because there was no other like class like fit my schedule. Because I lined up my classes just so that I have classes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but no school on Tuesday and Thursday. Yeah. Because last semester I had school for every other day, and that just like it didn't make me feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Like giving me those 2 extra days of like freedom, giving me time to like rest or like to study or do homework.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
That's good to hear, though. But before we get into today's topic, let's talk about a hot topic right now. Stocks. Now I'm gonna let Dom do most of the talking because he's the one that's actually investing and knows the situations right now as well as Oscar at least knows about it. So I'll let you two do the explaining.
I guess I'll start. So about a week ago, there's been some sort of proposal made on the internet website named Reddit, in a specific subreddit called Wall Street Bets, where a bunch of people who save up their money, spend it all, or pretty much bet all their money into a specific stock, hoping that they either make a huge profit or they lose it all, potentially hurting, their financial status. And there's been a recent proposal that happened about a week ago in which one specific person would invest around $50,000 to start off into GameStop stocks. And if you, for the people who don't know what GameStop is, it's basically a video game retailer where you go in and buy video game copies and or other accessories. But what has happened recently was that this recent surge of money that's been put into the stocks has risen up the price of it, essentially making GameStop a business that's like reaching the same amount of worth as Tesla or Apple or even Amazon, for that matter. so far it hasn't reached up to that level yet, but it's currently reaching to that height, to the point where people who are currently investing their money in it, such as Oscar and I, are ranking in money that is normally not easily made through the stock market in such a short amount of time. I personally invested like around $400 into a GameStop market, and I've got them by like around $2,000, which was pretty crazy, considering I have never invested before that. But aside from that, this GameStop surge created like a nationwide sort of how do you call it, problem between like the billionaire investors and like us, like normal common people, as the billionaires are losing billions of dollars because since the higher prices that we save up for the stocks and we sell, the more they have to pay. And now everyone, even Elon Musk himself, has started to support the idea that we need to begin to hold our money to save up our stocks and to sell at a high price, just so that the billionaires can pretty much feel, a bit of a, how do you call it, of our pain, as we pretty much been, commoners not being able to make enough money as much as they are. Well, yeah, that's pretty much my take on it.
What about you, Oscar?
As a little preface, I've been on Wall Street bets for like a year or two. Not like an active investor. I just like reading, because there's a lot of stories of people making millions overnight and then like sitting on it because they want more, and then they lose it all, or they actually keep their money. It's really entertaining, because what it essentially is there's like a group of people who basically live off of they're like day traders. They live off of stocks, and then there's other people who come in and try to take their advice and end up like essentially gambling, where they put in their life savings and either like lose everything or make money and then lose everything or keep their money. It's really entertaining. But yeah, like Dom said, around a week or two ago, there was a proposal to just kind of rush the stocks for GameStop with like an influx of people, because what hedge fund managers would do is you can buy like puts on a stock that you think, like a company or stock that you think is gonna do bad. So you make money off of every time they someone sells their stock, essentially. So like if they were predicting that GameStop was gonna become even like cheaper as a stock, because its quarterly reports so far have not been that good. And what short selling does, it basically runs companies out of business, because you see, when it's like a chain effect. When someone sells, more people tend to sell, and that's how a lot of hedge funds made their money. And what people in the subreddit did was they saw this and kind of like wanted to stick it to the man. So they're like, let's buy a bunch of stocks and raise the prices, which conversely, when you buy a put and the stock price goes up, you end up losing money. So what's ended up happening is these hedge fund companies have lost like billions of dollars, and for a lot of people it's a money making endeavor. And for me, it's personally, I don't think I'm gonna take my money out of there. I invested like 300 and I'm at 1,000, but I think I'm just gonna keep it there for the sake of like sticking it to these the corporations, because inevitably it's most likely going to crash, and then they're probably going to make some money back. But I think it's about sending a message. It's like about having hands of ice, if you know what I mean. Just don't sell, because every time you sell, you're letting these guys get away with their like manipulation and shady tactics.
Yeah, I've definitely. That's the one thing I've seen is like when they were like trying to prevent people from like investing more in stocks and stuff, was that they're trying to stop people from doing it, because like they look at it as wrong, and then like people are calling them out saying like, oh, why is it right when like the rich do it, but now like that common people are trying to do it. Now they're trying to prevent them from getting money and stuff. And Dominic was mentioning that Elon Musk was like even in support of these people. I was seeing even like a bunch of like politicians surprisingly in support, saying like what is going on is wrong, and that's preventing people from like making money, like even though they're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure even Ted Cruz.
Yeah,
I think her name was,
the ones I saw
yeah,
were Ted Cruz, Donald Trump Jr., and AOC. All three of them were like saying how like what was happening with the stock market right now was like wrong, as in like wrong of what the like billionaires and the rich were doing.
Exactly. But like, I think what makes me angry the most is that on news, I'm pretty sure there's been interviews with the said billionaires we're talking about, and like they keep on throwing in like a negative view on like that's showing that we're hurting them, when in reality they've been pretty much manipulating the market this entire time. And now that we get a chance to get some profit, they want to immediately stop us. And as what I said before about market manipulation, there's been current how do you call it, trading apps that people normally use, like such Robinhood, Fidelity, Webull, which are basically all apps where you could trade stocks, cryptocurrencies, and then withdraw them, or buy or trade as well, and to deposit money into your bank account, which is pretty much how the stock market works. But this recent app named Robinhood, which has actually been up for like more than 5 years, I think, have recently created a controversial move in which they would prevent users from buying stock for I think it was around 24 hours because they believe there was a too many users were buying at a too fast rate. But in reality, it was just the billionaires trying to manipulate the market just so the price would lower down. And so for a good period, people couldn't buy GameStop stocks, and as well as other businesses such as the AMC, the movie company. And people were limited, and people are still limited now to buy.
That's really crazy, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, dang, I don't want to say this because, like, literally, it's gonna sound like I already know Oscar's gonna laugh because of how much of a meme is, but that just shows us the type of society we live in.
Yeah.
The rich trying to stay rich, man. They don't want. We've been saying it for years. The rich don't want the poor to get as much money as them.
Yeah, I think my biggest annoyance with this is the whole market manipulation thing they're saying, because you could hypothetically call it market manipulation, but it's the same thing that these hedge fund rich billionaires have been doing. There's a good example where in March of last year, when Corona was ramping up and we were about to go into lockdowns, there was this hedge fund manager. I think he was the owner of some company, and he was saying that prices for hotels were gonna sink, right? Mm-hmm. He didn't directly say it because you're not allowed to directly give people financial advice like that with that's in your best interest. But mm-hmm. he would put money in the stocks that stocks like the Hilton would go down because of Corona, and he was making people panic and try to sell as fast as possible, which made him billions of dollars off these hotels closing. And that's a clear example of market manipulation, and so is preventing people from buying a stock. That's direct market manipulation on Robinhood's. And aren't they they're gonna get sued, aren't they?
I believe so.
Yeah.